All right, welcome to evening number 4. I think we're on evening 4 at this point of working on restoring my Back to Eden garden. And so I've been coming out here each night after work, evenings that I'm able to, and working on restoring this thing. So if you're wondering what exactly it is I'm doing at this point in the video, I explained it in the last video, but let me give you a quick recap. So what I'm doing is, first of all, I do the Back to Eden gardening method, which is basically you cover your garden with wood chips. What the wood chips do is they break down over time. They become like a composting material, and they help enrich your soil. And it also helps prevent a lot of the weed growth that you have with tilling and other methods. That said, I have let this sit, and grass and weeds have grown throughout here over the years, and well, past 2, I guess, seasons, and it's become a mess. And so I'm in the process of restoring this back to the way it should be. So what I'm doing is, number 1, I have been plowing back the wood chips, and then taking and pulling out kind of like the bigger clumps of the grass and stuff and burning it. There's going to be some small remnants of stuff. It is going to obviously still have seeds in it that are going to sprout. It's already been, there's some seeds on the ground here. It's definitely going to have issues still. So to prevent this year's weed problems that I'll inevitably still have because I let things go, what I'm going to do is once I've gone through everything, gotten the big clumps of the grass and things out, I'm going to level this out and have the level base of these wood chips down. And then I'm going to cover it with some landscaping fabric. And what that's going to do is hopefully the seeds in the soil bank and in the wood chips right now that are under there will begin to start to germinate, but they can't get sunlight, so they'll wither and hopefully die. And that will start to kill them off. And so then I can eventually, hopefully next year, take the landscaping fabric off and have a fresh start next season. So this season, what I'll do is essentially just cut a hole in the landscaping fabric so that I can plant my plants into the hole. And with the Back to Eden method, you plant in the native soil that's underneath of the wood chips. You don't plant directly in the wood chips. So that's my plan this year. I'm not quite halfway through it at the moment. But before I get started on tonight's work, whatever I have time for before it gets dark on me, that's pretty much what I do in the evenings, is I've got this apple tree. And we talked about this in the first video. If you can see it here, it's, it's starting to grow some growth here and then over here. This is a really pitiful looking apple tree. And the deer have come in here and mutilated the crap out of it year after year. I'm also going to be doing some fencing. Talked about that in the last video. But before I can do that, I need to get all this crap cleared out. Well, the tree's growing now. I don't want them to eat this and scratch this up and beat the crap out of the tree again. It's got like one nice branch here. It's trying to grow some stuff down here, which I originally wasn't wanting it to do. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe I'll let this one down here sprout off so that it has a nice big branch on this side to complement that one, and then it kind of, I don't know, we'll see. But right now my number 1 goal is letting this tree live. And so tonight I'm going to go ahead and get some deer netting and put it around this tree to protect it. There's little kitty, she's drinking the water out of the tractor bucket. Little cutie. Anyways, I'm gonna work on that tonight and see what else I have time for. So I think what I'll do is, step 1, I'm going to go ahead and spray this tree with some stuff. So my apple tree, any apple tree out here, tends to get what's called apple cedar rust, and that comes from cedar trees. Happens in the springtime, and during this time of the year, to prevent that from happening, I need to basically spray something on these leaves so that it doesn't catch it, the leaves get it, leaves die, because that's happened a couple of years to this poor tree, in addition to the deer attacking it. This method I'm using right now, I've used for a couple of years, and it works until the deer get it and attack the poor tree. They already killed its brother that was over there. He's gone. So this is the stuff I've been using. It's copper fungicide, and yeah, it seems to work pretty well. So that's what I'm going to spray on here right now. I try to do it every so often, mainly after it rains or something like that, to make sure that it's got a little bit of a covering of that on there to help prevent from getting, you know, apple cedar rust. It rained really hard this past weekend, so I want to spray it good to try to prevent the apple cedar rust. So, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to try to dig out a little bit of the growth that's directly underneath of it and pull some of that out. Throw that in the fire pit. We can burn that tonight, and then I'll put some temporary, there's the word, deer netting around this. These roots are the things that I hate. This kind of grass, whatever you call it, I'm not sure the name, but you leave a little piece of this in the garden, it spreads every freaking where. All right, I think I got enough for that bucket, so let's take this one on over to the fire pit. Wanna come with me? Sure, let's go. Excuse me there, Sir Gnome, and Sir Biggie Gnome. We like our names. All right. All right, so that's cleared enough around the base of the tree for now, and I will go ahead and put in that deer netting. All right, we got the posts up here. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm gonna put some deer netting around this thing. I've got the 7.5 foot variety, so it's gonna be taller than what I need. I got this for the fencing I'm gonna put on the outside of the garden once I'm all ready to do that. Need to get some skizzers. Can't cut that without scissors. This dull box blade ought to do the trick, right? Sure. Oh, I forgot it came with these little thingamabobs. Need a few of these, that's awfully nice. All right, this is gonna be interesting. Taking this out without taking the whole, let me take the gloves off. Unrolling it without unrolling everything. Huh. I have a fear, and that fear is I may have to unravel the whole thing before I can get to, basically I think it's folded this way and then rolled. And might just have to cut it at some point and just say, oh, that's enough, right? And guesstimate it. Let's see, that, and then that. Please let it be enough. All right, it's probably more than enough. I say that much, not be enough. Hope you can see okay, it's starting to get darker out here. I did not have as much time tonight to work as I normally do. Or had been the past few nights, I should say. It's hard to see what I'm doing. The lighting sucks. It's a thin black net against dark grass on the evening when it's getting dark out. Okay, what do I do with those rubber bands? See, I have a problem, and that's called when I set things, oh, here they are. When I set things down, I don't know where I sat them. But I didn't set them down, I put them on my arm, so there we go. Problem solved. All right, let's pull you back a little bit. Nah. So you can see what I'm working with. Okay. Again, this is meant to be deterrent. This isn't necessarily like the super heavy duty thing. I have also shut myself off from that tree, which is why I did the light weeding underneath of it. So yeah, there's the netting. And I think I'll call it a night here. It's getting dark. You can't see what I'm doing anyway. So peace out. I'll see you next on day number 5. Whoop. All right, it's the next evening. And I just wanted to show you in daylight what this deer netting looks like around this tree that we put up last night. Try to protect it from the deer. Got my garden stakes up and deer netting around the tree. And hopefully that'll protect it from the deer. So what I'm going to be working on next is I'm going to try to get some of these weeds that are along the edges here of the side borders in the garden and get them out of the way. And then I'm going to take the tractor and I'm going to start breaking up more of this stuff coming this way and trying to get some more of the bigger pieces out of the garden. So that's what we got going on. All right, now it's time to use the tractor and the box blade to knock out the next section of these weeds here. Break them into a pile. Try to pull the big pieces out of the wood chips that I can, burn them. All right, so scraped up a lot of the big stuff that was through here, and now we've got it over in these piles for me to more easily grab and burn. Look how like soft and rich this composty soil is. I mean, it's just amazing. Nice dark stuff here. I mean, so fluffy and beautiful and moist and just full of life and earthworms, and I love it. It's good stuff. Good stuff, thanks to the wood chips. All right, so let's start grabbing some stuff and throwing it into the fire pit to burn. Fire's really smoky tonight because we've got a lot of the roots are really wet and moist from being in the nice composty wood chips, even though the top is pretty dry on a lot of these. All right, so I've got the piles that I got with the tractor looking more like this. I got all the big stuff pulled off the top. There's obviously still, you know, weeds down in here and seed and things. But my hope is this. I think what I'm going to do, probably not tonight, because it'll be dark relatively soon. Next time I get out here, I'm going to take this stuff and try to rake it evenly back throughout the garden in this front section. As I uncover, if I uncover some big weedy stuff, I might like burn it or whatever. But that's my plan. And then after I do that, I think I'll probably tackle this side over here. This side is not really my garden per se, as it is more of what I consider my food forest. That's where I've got the apple tree, and I plan on planting more fruit that'll come back every year. The blueberry bushes, grapevines, things like that. So I'll have to take out this arch here and see if I can salvage the grapevine. Let's see if it started growing this year. Not yet. Don't have any leaves on that yet. So it may or may not survive. I'll give it some time. I've got all these natural vines taking over in here right now too. So that'll be fun to get all that out. But what I think I'll do is this. I'll take out the arches. I'll come in here with the tractor and do like I did, the same thing. Maybe take the boards on the end out so I can drive in and rake through, sift through this stuff. The wood chips back here are a lot thicker because I had some piles back here that were delivered that I never got to make its way into the rest of the garden. And so I'll fill in some low spots out there with what I have in here on these bigger mounds. And what I think I'll do, like around these little blueberry bushes, is I'll just pull the weeds out by hand. You guys starting to bud a little bit. I'll just pull the weeds out by hand to salvage those. Kind of like what I did with that, but I haven't put the landscape fabric around the apple tree yet. That's what I'm thinking I'll do. The other thing that I was thinking about was for the edges, you know, how am I going to keep basically this issue here where roots come up from underneath the boards on the side and they sprout grass. What I'm thinking at the moment possibly is when I put down the landscaping fabric is taking these blocks up and the boards up just one at a time so I don't lose where my line is, and tucking it underneath a little bit so that it's under the board, and that'll kind of do two things. One, that'll hold it down, and two, it'll hopefully keep some of that growth from coming up and sprouting down through here. But basically I would take my wood chips and I would, you know, have them all the way up to here, you know, but there would be that landscaping fabric going straight down and then underneath a little bit, is what I'm thinking at the moment. And then obviously the landscaping fabric would come up and go around and then go over top of all of the wood chips, preventing all the seeds that are in here right now from hopefully sprouting, and hopefully they'll die off. And then I can cut holes again where I want to plant my seeds for this year and dig down to the native soil and plant them in that. So that's what I'm thinking right now. All right, so I think I'm going to end this video right here. We've made some progress out here. Make sure you tune into the next video to see what we're going to do next. I'll do some of those things I talked about. Can't wait to see where we go with this. I'm really excited about it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all the fun things you do on social media, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Say bye, Peaches.